Now, there's so many people defending this show and saying, oh, well, the haters, they just want dumb Sith Jedi lightsaber action. You know, that's just such a just a stupid kind of defense or argument there about people that are haters of this show, because George Lucas gave us 6 amazing, masterfully told stories about Sith and Jedi, and incredible story-driven lightsaber action. So you can't tell me that all of that is bad and dumb, because the only people that made Star Wars bad and dumb and filled with dumb action and muddled the Force is Disney and the Disney sequels. So if you're thinking about that, then you're correct. But if you're thinking that Star Wars, that the Sith and the Jedi and all of that stuff and lightsaber combat is dumb, then I really don't think you're a Star Wars fan. Welcome to the channel. This is Holocron Jedi. So there's a way about making the beginnings of the rebellion exciting. And in my opinion, the first thing you have to do in order to have an exciting story about the beginnings of the rebellion versus the Empire is that you take out Andor as a character. You take out his character completely. You focus on Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, Saw Gerrera. This Luthen guy, he seems pretty okay. You have all those early characters in it. Heck, bring in some of the characters from Star Wars Rebels. They're far more interesting than Andor. Just anybody but Andor. Andor's character and his main story is in Rogue One. We don't need to see his backstory. His backstory is not as exciting as, let's say, Darth Vader's, Han Solo's, the Emperor, Palpatine. You know, Andor is not that interesting of a character. The defense, the narrative that this show is good is just baloney, in my opinion. What it says about the writers and the showrunners of this show, that there's so much filler, is that they don't have a very good story to tell here for Andor. They don't have a lot of story here, so they fill it with all these side characters and their filler subplots, and they don't have a lot of story for Andor. If Andor was such an interesting, fun, exciting character, most of the time spent in these episodes would be with Andor and less with all these other characters. And also, George Lucas gave us really good, well-told stories about Rebels versus Empire in his original trilogy. We got good Rebels versus Empire stories in the old EU. So if they can't do that here, then they're not capable of doing a Star Wars story. This Tony Gilroy guy, he's the scriptwriter for the original 3 Jason Bourne movies. I love the Jason Bourne trilogy. He wrote them only. He didn't direct them. He only directed the 4th installment, which is the worst one in the Bourne movies. And it was directed by the original trilogy was directed by different directors, way better directors. So we'll probably, and also Matt Damon had a lot of input in the story and probably changed a lot of things. Then perhaps Tony Gilroy didn't do a good job in the script. So my point is that this guy, Tony Gilroy, I guess it's been said that he says that he doesn't like Star Wars, that he's not a fan of Star Wars, that he doesn't understand Star Wars, and he was trying to do something different. In my opinion, that sounds a little bit too close to this guy. And Lucasfilm just really doesn't understand who they're hiring or how to hire people for Star Wars. And that's one of the main problems. And recently, we've seen them even quiet Kathleen Kennedy, Disney quiet Kathleen Kennedy on her announcements, because she obviously just announces things and they get canceled and canceled and canceled. So I'm pretty sure Andor is Kathleen Kennedy's baby, while The Mandalorian is Jon Favreau's baby. And this is why The Mandalorian is a way better show, has way better stories than Andor. And yeah, just the arguments that us haters want, like just Jedi, Sith, and lightsabers, and that's a bad thing, is really dumb, because this is Star Wars. We do want Jedi, Sith, and lightsabers, but we want them in well-crafted stories. So that argument and defense against the haters of this show is just as hollow and empty as this show.